Association.
Cool. We're live now.
Amateur radio is a worldwide hobby that has many different aspects. Digital television is just one of the many modes and areas that are covered. Maybe you're interested in becoming involved in the DATV experiment as not.
Okay.
You realise that you do not have to be a radio amateur or need any ATV equipment to participate anywhere in the world.
We're just still setting up. So for those that are watching, because we are live on at least one stream. Are we live on the other stream?
We're just going through the promo.
Oh, okay. I don't have a promo on my channel, so
This is a bit of introduction, bit of recent activity up here. So
now I'll look this up. Well, while that promo is going, I may as well introduce myself. Everyone knows who I am, so I'm VK7HH for Ham Radio DX. You're
Justin Giles Clark, VK7 Tango Whiskey,
and we're streaming tonight on not only this channel but also on REAST Hobart. So have a look for REAST Hobart. I'll put a link in the description already, so
Cool.
you can view this stream on there too. Every Wednesday night at 7:30 the stream goes out. This one's a special one tonight, so
Fantastic.
We
We can mutually welcome each other.
yeah.
7:30 p.m. local time.
And we're just finishing off the promo.
This is VK7
Very
OTC.
very organised with the promo. It's great.
And that's Brett Miles.
Yes.
Marley.
Yes.
So Miles from HO. So now we'll change over to that. So and okay, cool. Now Hayden is doing a very important thing here,
I'm trying to. It's a special website and I can't find it.
which oh no, the link's a bit further. There it is.
There it
There
is. Yes.
We the RD contest, the Remembrance Day contest logs have finished, and the has been closed. And last Friday, at least, VK7 was absolutely smashing it. So. So I'm hoping.
Sorry to all the other VK call areas
sorry.
watching, but we are winning.
Results pending.
Ooh,
okay.
okay.
Yes.
You
That's-
submitted
that's-
logs.
That's
Ooh.
changed.
I'll do a quick count here.
Okay. So there is a wonderful. You can come in. Yeah. Come in. Come in. Let's do this one. Right? That's all right. So Hayden's just doing a quick count of the submitted logs. We had
43
43.
for VK7.
Well, that was about 37 last.
Yeah.
Whoa. So
Oh, there's a ZL.
fantastic.
A ZL2 LDX.
And a VK8.
And a VK8, VK8 VWA. Excellent.
So we're on tenterhooks around the logs. So there must have been a bit of a last minute push.
Yeah, there's a couple of call signs I noticed that put in their
Okay.
cool. Logs there. There's another one that another couple I didn't notice. There's another one. Yeah. Good.
Excellent. So we'll wait the results to come out. So sorry, that's my phone. It'll be somebody else. No YouTube audio. Oh, okay. Thanks, Ben.
Oh,
That's.
have I got YouTube audio? That's a good question.
Now, how's that, Ben? I think that's a bit better.
Oh, I do.
No, that's. Thank you to one of our watchers, Ben, VK7BEN. So we now have audio, which is good. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Ben.
And
Live interaction.
live interaction. Shout out to VK4GHZ who's watching.
Ooh,
VK4GHZ,
excellent.
very good operator.
Excellent.
Check out his channel.
And
a lot
VK4
of good microwave stuff.
GHZ is the display I'm running on my Trimble Thunderbolt.
And have you seen his new the IC-9700 control box that he's going to have?
No, I haven't.
Have a look. He's found a bug in the 9700 firmware, and he's uploaded it. Very, very good.
Fantastic.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Oh, VKs are hitting goals with the IC-9700.
Sorry, Adam. Yeah. Just a bit of a promo for you.
It's good. It's good. No, he produces some great stuff.
He does.
Great stuff.
He does. That's actually so. My microwave endeavours started with watching his channel.
Okay.
Because he's got a lot of good stuff on there. So that's where that started.
Okay. And I love the call sign.
Notice he's stopped messaging me, so he's
okay. All right. So Ham Radio DX, what are you covering these days in your podcasts, in your vodcasts? Sorry, in your streaming channel.
Yeah, true. Well, a lot of it lately has been microwave related. So I've got a new video which is scheduled, which hasn't come out just yet. That's on 3.4 gigahertz, which is what we'll be talking about tonight.
Yep.
So that's interesting. That was to do with a national digital record that myself and Peter, VK7PD, broke. What's today? Monday.
Yeah. Okay. Monday.
Yep. Very small record. It was only 160 kilometres, but we extended it to try and get someone else to extend ours. So.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Between where and where?
Mount Wellington and Mount Barrow.
Oh, of course.
We only beat it by 7 kilometres or so.
Okay.
But it had been standing, I think, since 2011. So it was time it needed to be beaten.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, that puts out the challenge to the rest of Australia.
Yep. We're also watching the live chat on my page as well. So. Yeah, just chuck a comment in there.
Fantastic. Good stuff. So so tonight is primarily a bit of a focus on 3.4 gigs and the panel antennas, which are a fantastic project that comes out of a couple of places. Originally from Geelong, Amateur Radio Club, because I think they were the ones who sourced the panels from Shepparton, I think it was.
Yeah, I didn't know what the origin of them was. I know it was an ISP.
ISP,
Yep.
well and truly. And I think it was most of them came out of Shepparton. They it was almost a complete town installation. And then Elizabeth Amateur Radio Club in South Australia, and specifically Tim Dixon, who is a powerhouse in this space, and has produced a fantastic guide, which
the panel primer.
Hayden won.
Yes, I've still got
at
it at home. Has it been released yet?
I think it has. It's on the Elizabeth Amateur Radio Club website. So. And constantly being updated by Tim. So.
Yeah, and in light of our digital record too, we noticed there was quite a bit of drift that we had at first.
Okay.
So Tim's actually going to look at the option of he's going to give us some information about the reference that's used, which happens to be a 10 meg one.
Okay.
So he's going to give us some information about locking that, hopefully to GPS or a more stable reference. So.
Fantastic. Cool. No. Well, that's we're all set with us able to actually lock our 10 gigs and our 1296 etc. So it'd be good to be able to lock that as well.
Oh, now while I think about it, sorry, on the topic of 3.4 gigs, SG Lab.
Yep.
Have just released or in production a 3.4 gig transverter, GPS lockable. And I think it does 3 to 4 watts out as by itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Slightly more expensive than the other options.
Yep.
But that's to be expected.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's
it's good gear because that's my 1296 transverter.
Yep. Same with me, and my 13 centimeter transverter.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic. Well, what I might do is we might get Ron in with now. Ron's been is about to start playing with a whole lot of little Arduino projects. So before we head next door to the 3.4 gig, we might get Ron in. So if you're listening, Ron, out in the club rooms, and I'll just what we can do here is go.
Also, for the benefit of my viewers as well. We will move next door after we've spoken with Ron, but bear with me because I'm going to have to move the camera and move the laptop. So don't leave the stream. It'll look very bad for a little while. But
no, that's all right.
I will be back. I'll put up some sort of display photo so you don't watch me moving the camera around all over the place. So.
Now, oh no, there's Ron there. Okay, sorry, we've just gone to our outside broadcast, which is in the club room next door. So we'll just head and grab. We'll go and, go and grab Ron.
I'll go.
That'd be great. Thank you, Hayden. And we'll do a bit of a promo for a bit of a promo run. And if we go head to here and here and oh, Hayden's locked himself out.
No one could get in. Someone's locked it.
Oh, that's all right. I've snibbed it.
Here he comes.
You want Rex or me?
No, you.
Me?
Yeah, definitely.
Arduinos.
Just this and this, Justin.
Yeah, that's great.
And
Now, what will...
guess I'll grab the other Bluetooth one as well.
Okay, cool. Cool. And we've...
While we're waiting for Ron, I'll bring up a photo of my 3.4 gig transverter.
Here.
Get it out. This is that hard. Oh, it's easy now.
Cool. Now, welcome Ron Cullen, VK7 something soon. Sorry, do a bit of a plug there.
Sure.
Now, Ron, we're looking at a couple of little boards here, which we'll actually go to. Hang on, this is probably Ben. Okay.
Noisy thing off.
There you go. Thanks, Ben. This is interactive television.
What's Ben saying?
I know Ben's saying we had full audio in the from the club rooms from next door. But anyway,
Right.
So what we'll do here, Ron, is we'll do a quick. Okay, we'll go with that one.
Yeah.
We'll go with. We'll move that cord out the way.
You need to balance it on something on the cord. Yeah, maybe there. Yeah.
And we'll zoom out a little bit here. So, what are we looking at, Ron?
So, I was just doing a little bit of searching around for Arduino bits and pieces and come across this YouTube page where a bloke's using this ESP32, which is that chip, is it? Yeah, I don't know a lot about it yet, so I'm still in the learning phase with it. And this is a complete module with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and an OLED display sitting on there. And if Justin flips it over, it has a 18650
Correct.
battery backup on it. So it can get power from there. And what we might get you to do is turn the little on-off switch,
Which is up here.
there, yeah. And for the OLED, I don't know if they can see that.
Yeah. Hello world.
Yeah.
Here we are. We'll actually
Zoom in on
here.
that because it cycles through, doesn't it?
And do a bit of focus. Still wrong way. There
It's
we
got
go.
it. Oh, there's other little switches there too. Look, a boot and
Yeah,
that.
boot and enable. Hello world. Hello
So
world.
that's running code that's already on it, so which it came shipped with. So the main reason why I bought this one, and it was on special for $15, free postage. So
Sorry, I'm just holding it up for Hayden.
It's all right. I
We're
can
dual,
see that.
we're dual streaming this. So
Yeah. So what the bloke had done on this YouTube channel is got some code from GitHub, and within about 6 minutes had a internet streaming radio program running on it. and connect a little earphone to a couple of the pins, and you can configure it to stream internet radio on it. So that's what I plan to do, but I only got it a couple of days ago, so I haven't had enough time to do anything with it.
Now, Ron, I'm going to ask you an awkward question. The cost of it is just ridiculous.
Yes, yeah, considering what's on it. Yeah.
It was all off.
Yeah, $15.
$15.
Yeah, free postage.
And free postage. Yeah. You did have to wait for it for a little while, but...
Yes, yeah, the stuff from China. Yep. Oh, and that can lead on to that one.
Oh, that can lead on to this one. Now, I'll give you that one.
Switch it.
So this one, we'll need to zoom in here a little bit. Oh, wrong way. Sorry. So this one, what are we looking at here?
So this is just a Bluetooth receiver with a 3.5mm plug on it. So the plan will be to, rather than plugging directly into the ESP32 board to play the radio, if I can stream Bluetooth from there to that module, and hopefully it's got a little bit of power amplification in it, and might be able to hook up a little speaker to it or something and put it inside a case.
Cool.
So just build your own. And that was $2.99.
It is just outrageous. Bluetooth
audio. Yeah.
So
you could use that for other applications too.
So it's just, I can't believe this. Outrageous. Okay, now there's a few other little modules here as well.
Right, so probably that one. So
okay.
It's upside down on here.
Upside down. Yeah.
That's just a Arduino Nano.
Let me just move that.
But it's called the BLE.
Blue Nano.
Blue Nano. So it's an Arduino Nano with inbuilt Bluetooth. And
you can see the little Bluetooth antenna.
Yeah,
on the end.
I can't remember how much that one costs now.
But it's in the Nano form.
Yes.
So it's the same, exactly the same form factor as a Nano, except for this little antenna at the back, which I think makes it a little bit longer than a normal Nano.
Then the main reason why I bought that one is a previous project which I built that I show that we demonstrated on the radio control technology
presentation.
That was a Bluetooth headset. The Bluetooth head tracker, and that was made out of the separate Arduino Nano, a Bluetooth module, and then the gyro sensor and compass and everything. So what I was hoping with this is, because it's got Bluetooth built in, you can get rid of one module, so to make it a bit more compact.
Well, true.
And the only thing you'd need to attach to this would be the compass and sensor.
Keep looking, there's probably one with them on there. Now, what's the next one?
Good question.
Okay, if any of our viewers realise what this is, please let us know.
So this was, I found this around about the same time as I found the ESP32, and it's another Arduino module of some sort with...
Switch that off. That's better.
With an OLED, a larger OLED display on it. You can see it's still got the little green tab on it. So I'll yet to find a little project. So
the back's got a bit more on it for this one, including the battery lead, which is...
So I suppose if you were to hook up sensors, if you're doing some monitoring of sensors, temperature and whatever, you can probably display that on the front without having to connect other things to it.
Well, and you still have all of your pads, which are your input and output signals down the side, and you could put a header on that or whatever to mount it. So, but it's got quite a large OLED screen on it. So. And a colour OLED screen, so you can do red, green, blue, and everything with it. So
it's a little bit of stuff to play around on those rainy days.
Definitely, definitely, and hopefully we don't have many of them left. But anyway, given it's the 4th day of spring, that is fantastic, Ron. That is really, really good. And hang on, we'll head back to there we go. And so we look forward to watching this project actually develop. But I do really like the ESP module with the battery backup. It's just and the fact that it's got Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
Yeah, and the display.
And the display, a little display, so it's telling you, you can get it to tell you status and all sorts of stuff. Plus, you've got all the ability with all of the input and output signals. And I assume, I think I read on that the website that that's a battery charger for that.
Ah, yes. Yes,
So
that's right.
So you can charge it also through the USB port.
Yeah.
So and so it becomes a battery backup. So and
Bit of fun.
for $15, you got to be kidding. I don't know how they do that, but anyway, fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Ron.
Right.
All right. Well, we might. What we'll do now is we'll head into the main room, and we're actually going to take apart some of the 3.4 gig panels to do some modification and some tuning exercises on it to get their performance hopefully up to an acceptable level. So we'll just bear with us because we're going to move everything into the room. So if you are watching via streaming, Hayden's Ham Radio DX, if you're watching by that, we're just going to go off air for a moment, and then go back on air.
We might do a promo for REAST again just beforehand.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Do you want to do that?
Yeah. Yep.
Where can they view this every night? Every Wednesday night, sorry.
Every Wednesday night. Well, the easiest way is to go to the REAST website, which is www.reast.asn.au. And there is a menu there, which is the events and activities menu. And in that menu is streaming, the streaming page. So that's honestly the easiest way. You can get to it via YouTube, but it's a bit more torturous. So just go to reast.asn.au and we're there. So and it happens every Wednesday night from around about 7:30. And we normally have a bit of show and tell, and then we go into some videos. We don't actually have any videos tonight, and I purposely did that because I knew that we were heading into the club rooms to do some hands-on bits and pieces. So we'll leave the stream running and the RF running. So we also, for those people, that's probably another thing, for those people who have the ability to receive DVB-T, so normal digital television, some televisions and some set-top boxes enable you to put in a frequency. If you can do that with your set-top box or your television, put in 445.5 megahertz, which is in the amateur band, and get it to do a scan. And if you find VK7 OTC at that, you'll be able to actually receive the RF stream. So so we go out fairly low power in Hobart. It's only 15 watts at this point in time, but if you can see the Queen's Domain, you've got half a chance of actually being able to receive signal. So
point your antenna this way.
Well, yeah, or if you've got an antenna that's actually pointed towards the mountain, but the back of it's pointed towards the Queen's Domain, you've got half a chance. But yeah, it probably would be better if you were pointed towards the Queen's Domain. So so yeah. Anyway, we'll move into the main room and we'll start our 3.4 gig performance improvement program.
I'll put a holding slide up. So don't go away.
Cool.
Don't go away.
Cheers. Well, hang on.
Let's go back.
No, hang on.
Oh,
Brett, you go and grab Rex.
Okay,
Rex was going to do something.
Yeah.
Go, yep.
Yes.
No, because this is before he disappears to mud.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, he's going away, isn't he?
correct. Texas.
Texas.
Yes. Texas.
Texas. That's a long
Bigger
way.
than Texas. No, that's good. That's very good.
Yep. So we've got 12 viewers.
Oh,
I think we had
here he is.
15. Here's Rex.
Come in. Come in, Rex. Come in.
The 9700 guru.
No, this is different.
Well, we've got Rex until he disappears to bigger than Texas. So,
That's right.
So cool. Now, Rex, what are we looking at? Yes, we can. We can go over here. We can Oh, hang on. Let's widen that out a bit. Okay, so what are we looking at here?
This is a QSO
Here we go.
that I received from Richard VK7ZBX off the moon, which is the first time there's been a VK7 to VK7 contact. Well, actually, we had the contact the day before on a slightly bigger system,
Okay.
but this is with a 60 centimetre dish and 30 watts, and that's, as far as I can tell, the smallest pair of antennas and lowest power that's ever been done anywhere in the world.
Fantastic.
The trick is, if you look to the right, which is a bit hard to see, we found a time when the spreading got down to just 3 hertz.
Ooh, here. Yes, okay.
And at
Which
the
is-
same time,
2329.
yes, at the
27,
same time, the lunar degradation was only 0.1 of a dB. So this is about as good as it ever gets.
Well and true.
Be able to hold that up.
Now, one of the things with this was,
Oh, the light's in the way.
Sorry.
you'll see, I got a decode with his CQ and another one. I wasn't getting 100% decodes, so I asked Richard to go over to the QRA-B mode, which
Okay.
is more sensitive, but only more sensitive providing the spreading is very low.
Okay. Great.
And if we look at this graph,
Which one are we looking at?
that one,
Okay. Yep.
you will notice that the B mode,
Is green.
yeah, and
Is up here.
compared to D, which one normally uses at 10 gigs,
Which is this one here.
you'll see that at very low spreading, it's about 2 dB better.
Oh yeah.
And
It's up
that,
here versus here.
so we had to take advantage of that 2 dB.
Okay.
In fact, when I did a degradation test after the event on these decodes, it started to drop away with even half a dB degradation.
So you were right on the edge.
We were right on the edge, but I mean, you can see we needed some prior knowledge.
Yeah. Yep.
So we were right on the edge, but
That's fantastic, Rick.
yeah, very happy with that result. So,
Very happy, and congratulations to you and Richard.
yeah.
Given it was, I'll ask the question. Given it was VK7 to VK7,
Yes,
how far did the signal actually travel?
about 20 kilometres. Sorry, the signal itself travelled about 720,000 kilometres.
To go 20 kilometres.
To go 20
Between 20 kilometres. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
You might wonder how we knew that we were really getting it off the moon. And the reason is there's so much Doppler that the signal is well away from the direct signal.
Yep. Yep.
Admittedly, the direct signal would have been 5 and 9 plus 40, but
And the timing would have been.
and that's right.
About
And
2 seconds
instantaneous.
you'll notice the timing's about 2.5 seconds,
Which is spot on.
which tells you that we actually got it off the moon.
Yep.
So, yep.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Rex.
Thank
That
you.
is excellent.
Now, before Rex goes, I've got a viewer question.
Ooh.
A viewer question.
So, this one's to do with the 9700.
Yes.
And it's to do with what Glenn did for your radio.
Yes.
What are the pros and cons for the VK1XX ref lock board versus the mini kits one?
The only real difference between them is the mini kits one means you've got an extra box outside the radio, which you've got if you're going portable, an extra thing to set up. Whereas the VK1XX one, and even the mini kits one, you have to solder a single solder joint, which you've got to hold that little coupling loop. The Glen one, you've got about 3 solder joints to hold that rather large board. In a technical sense, Glenn's gone to an enormous amount of trouble to improve the phase noise and done lots of calculations on what he thinks has improved. Whether that's better or not than the mini kits, I'm not sure. The other difference is the mini kits is about $140 something. Glenn's going to sell his
Less than 100, I think. Wasn't it?
yeah.
Yep.
Well, about 65 US.
And I think that the mini kits one's injection locking.
That's right.
Glenn's is different, isn't it?
Yes. Glenn is actually a VC, a voltage control on the existing oscillator.
Yep.
And
Glenn's has been tried and tested by you.
That's right. So I am totally confident about Glenn's. Admittedly, mine is the version 1 of Glenn's.
Yep.
He has put in my other 9700 a version 2, but I've left that with him. Well, you know that because you were going to bring it back.
Yeah, he's going to make it a version 3, isn't
And
he?
he's going to make it into a version 3. Unfortunately, Glenn's been under the weather with some wog, combined with the fact that his work has been too busy. And as far as I know, he still hasn't actually produced any Mark IIIs.
Okay.
Okay. But he said the pick and place machine has actually made about 20 Mark IIIs, but he hasn't actually soldered them into my 9700 to. Well, I said to check that it works, and he sort of said, "Well, it'll work."
Yeah, of course. I can hear him say it now.
Yeah. And he gave a talk on it at Gibbs Tech as well, which is up on my channel.
Right.
So you can view it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Talking about the 9700, does anyone know about the 905?
I've seen
The 705. Just
705.
Before you move on to the 705, there's a follow-up question.
Yes.
What was the
Why do you have to read all these questions?
What was the most critical frequency and drift test Rex has done with the ref lock? That would have been the one that you got from Glenn. You did a test on 1296 with it, didn't you?
Yeah.
And how much did that drift?
There was no drift beyond what occurred between the GPSs.
Yep.
And even at 1296, was down in the millihertz due to the GPSs.
At 1296.
At 1296, like 10 millihertz at 1296. But as soon as you actually lock your reference signal and the radio with the same, from the same GPS,
That's 0.
there's nothing you can see down to 1 millihertz or less.
Yeah. And so those questions come from Adam and VK4G8Z, and he says thank you.
What is he answering?
Yeah, he is answering me.
Hello, Adam.
And for his benefit and others, in Glenn's Gibbs Tech video, he showed the difference between the Icom firmwares, the drift, and using his solution in that video as well. And I remember he spoke about when he had the radio in his garage at 20 degrees and he opened the door with 1 degree out in Canberra and the radio went nuts.
Yeah. And I should add, the new Icom mod, while it's a big improvement, it's still...
The new firmware.
The new firmware. Yep. Still drifts something like 40 hertz as soon as the fan comes on.
Yeah.
However...
Or the garage door's opened. Yeah.
Or something like that. However... the amount that it drifts depends very much on what the temperature of the outside air is compared to the radio.
Yep.
And if you run the radio in a cycle, say a digital mode 1 minute on, 1 minute off, you only get about 15 hertz drift at 1296. And if you equate that back to 2 meters, that's only about 1.5 hertz.
Yep.
And particularly if you're using it, say at 10 gigs, you're using a mode that's got at least tone spacing of 15 hertz or something.
That wouldn't matter.
It's not really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess my view is the new Icom firmware is good enough for any mode on the tone spacing that you normally use.
Yep.
But if you're trying to do clever stuff, or if you're like me
on the edge,
and you're on the edge, where you've got to go down to a narrow bit, something like this,
Or Whisper.
or Whisper,
Yep.
it's not good enough.
Yep.
Particularly because Whisper, you know,
For anything more than 4 hertz in it.
well, it's the other problem with Whisper is you normally only run it at about 10% duty cycle, and
Yeah.
so that there's a big change
Yeah.
from when the thing turns on and
Yep.
comes off again.
Yep.
So, while I think most people will be happy with the firmware, I wasn't.
Yeah, that's where Glenn's solution comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The 705.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's the 818 killer. Oops, I didn't say that. Jason, sorry.
It's a bit bigger.
It
Yeah.
is.
What I like about it is it is potentially for portable use as a microwave IF.
Yep.
Yep.
It's only 1 kilogram.
Yep.
It's lovely and small. It appears to have, because at the moment we don't have a lot of information, but it's got exactly the same screen as the 9700.
Yep.
It seems to have all the functionality of the 9700. It's obviously got different architecture because it.
Smaller.
Well, no, I mean electronic architecture,
okay, yeah, sure.
because it converts down. It uses full SDR at the front end only up to 25 megs, whereas the 9700 uses full SDR right up to 432, and so it converts down from 432, 144, and 10 meters to 25 megs. Which seems a bit odd. So I think we'll find out that the reference frequency will turn out to be different to the 49.152.
Yes.
And good luck to Glenn building a solution. For
That's
that.
right. That's the next part of it. So I think that's going to be an interesting radio. Although, if it follows the 9700 pattern, it's just come out in the latest Japanese ham fair,
Yeah.
and it was 2.5 years from that time.
To when it went into production.
Well, before we had IC-9700s in our hands.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And I've got a stat on that radio.
yes.
This is how much interest it's generated.
Based on what? The number of emails.
No,
Web.
on the weekend. Was it on the weekend?
It was the weekend.
On the weekend, so 4 days ago,
Yep.
there was a popular ham radio channel in the United States released a video on it. 4 days ago, it's had 58,000 views. already.
Wow!
So that's how many
There's
people
interest.
are interested in the Icom IC-705.
Well, Icom haven't had an 817.
No.
They just haven't had an 817, and so I think Icom have probably thought, quite rightly, hang on, there's a bit of the market we're missing out on.
Yes.
And I don't know how many 817s and 818s have actually been sold, but there must be tens of thousands of them, honestly.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what the price point of the 705 will be as well, because
True.
I think it's going to cater for microwave enthusiasts, for soda people,
Well and truly.
for people just wanting it for portable in the car.
Yeah.
It's,
It is a kilogram, that's what they're saying it
Yes.
actually is.
that's very light.
That's a third the weight of an 817.
An 817 is 3 kilos.
It's 3 kilos. Yeah,
Really?
it is.
Oh, it couldn't be. Oh, that's with the batteries in it.
That's what batteries.
Batteries,
microphone, the whole.
Okay, the 1 kilo is without batteries and without microphone, so it may not be quite as.
It's equivalent. It's equivalent, definitely. So if it's got more functionality, which it does look like it does.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't do 1296.
No, but then neither does the 817.
But
No.
HF to UHF.
To 70 centimetres.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's 58,000 views. There's a lot of interest out there.
And that's in 4 days.
Yeah.
Not even a week.
So,
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see when they actually start producing it. With that interest, you think they'll get it out a bit quicker, wouldn't you?
And if the price point is similar to the 7300 and the 9700, I think they're going to do okay.
As a comparison to the...
When you say similar, the 9700, the 9300 is sort of $1,400.
7300.
Yeah.
7300.
So the 7300 came out and it was lower than what people expected, and so it's the 9700.
Oh, I see. Yes.
So I think it's going to be about 2,000 in between.
Hey?
Personally, I think so.
Why? What do you think it'll be in between?
Oh well, because it's got everything.
But an 817 is only about $1,000, isn't it?
Yeah, but not when it came out new. It wasn't.
No, it was
expensive.
It was expensive new. It's come down in price because they
I mean, it
produced so
came
many of
out
them.
nearly 20 years ago, didn't it?
Correct. And it was well over $1,000.
I can't see it being any less than a 7300.
No.
Can't you?
No, I don't think so. It'd be good if I'm wrong.
but I was just because when those came out,
I was thinking it'd be under 1,000.
I really hope so. If it does, they're going to sell a lot of units.
Correct. That's going to be the 817 competition.
As talking about the interest in it, so on that same channel, the guy did a review on a 7300 when it first came out. That's only had 97,000, and that's been out how many years now? A year and 2 years.
Well and truly,
So
2 years.
So the interest has really gone off.
Fantastic. No, well, good stuff. Lots of exciting things in the wind.
Okay.
Thank you, Rex, and congratulations.
Thank you.
So we'll just do a promo on the REAST channel, and we'll head into our 3.4 gig night. What we will try and do is set up some cameras so that you can actually see what's going on. And when we open boxes up, we'll grab the camera and head into the box. So anyway, we'll just do a bit of a promo.
And I'll put a holding slide up, and then we'll move the camera out.
Cool. Oh, go for it.
I wanted to build. I still remember you saying satellite anyway, I don't know anything about it. But I think it's got really So this is your ESP32.
No, the first time I corrected last year.
Becoming more aware of this, a lot of items from the radio. Council, especially working in that area,
That'd be good.
thinking is that car park, they may have jumped off the they closed Argyle Street between the car park and Elizabeth Street. But of course, what they end up doing is they let the cars out of the car park and sent them the wrong way down Argyle Street to get them out. So whatever it was someone else.
3,000 milliamp hours, including like 7,000. But not that that's one of the reasons total redoms and well, they go. But there's Justin, you might know. Because you never said similar to what you've got. Everybody and his brother. And while I was out there,
Less than 8 stories, it wasn't enough room for so more than 35 stories was going too fast. So in between, enough time for the cat to sort itself out and get ready to go.
Sorry, it's a bit of a mess.
Can you
go beyond self-resonance?
While still looking around,
One time, then you see
well, normally all these things are
Yeah, with us a sec. We're just moving cameras around.
So you reckon you could
Camera everywhere. Do not get the lenses along.
I'll put you on camera.
Tear the universal apart and get the lenses perfectly aligned. Camera in camera.
And that's why you've done it. Not done it through Express.
Camera in the screen and
What they mentioned that way is
I looked at the camera and suddenly the TV broke down.
So you want to set up the panel this side, yeah? Cool. So Justin's going to be modifying his panel to try and improve the receive performance. which will happen in due course when he moves it over.
No, I think you disconnected
There's been a sort of a general discussion about why these big
a couple of weeks ago
to work.
on a Saturday.
There's different challenges.
Oh, actually, sorry.
That's
He was
different.
acting in that Rob King. Was at one of the stalls there. Okay, so maybe he was just always enjoying an ice cream as a stallholder or something.
No, what I'm saying is,
No, it's not. You can bowl out in front. He is the most helpful.
like it's
I didn't want to discourage. Yeah, sure. You know, it's the new security measures that they're difficult. Every visitor has to be in a bag.
But it's
So he says, but look, Warren, it will be put off by send you an email.
Now, one of the things that's essential when you do this sort of panel is some sort of mechanical screwdriver. Because you've only got 2 or 3 screws to undo.
Oh yeah, I remember that. My panel's in an enclosure, so I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Your panel's just an antenna now, isn't it?
Yeah.
One of today's events has been Tasmania Fire Service.
and we do trombone. Trombone down like a whole lot.
I mean,
Notice I've got a little
really on it.
little manual push to talk harness there, which I put together because I was running the panel with a handheld, which had no ability of getting an external push to talk. So there's a little RCA with a switch on it.
So what are the things you're doing tonight to try and improve the receive performance?
Well, I'm going on a bit of a hint from your fine self.
Oh, so it's my fault if it doesn't work.
But a hint from yourself and Tim, which involves basically bypassing the receive cavity filter.
Yep.
And the receive cavity filter.
Yep. And you've got a preamp as well, which you want to put in?
I don't have the preamp yet, but I have a PA that I'm actually wanting to put in.
Yep.
Which is a 2-watt PA, and I just want to start to work out where I can actually position it and a few other things. So
Yep.
this is actually I knew there was a lot of space on one side, and so
the actual mod that we're going to be doing is just here. We can see the antenna comes into the coax switch here, and then out of the coax switch there's a little. You've got a little. Is it hardline or coax or something?
it's hardline.
Yep, hardline that goes underneath to this point here.
Yep.
So what we want to do is we want to move it from this point to the other point in
The end of the filter.
The end of the filter here. Yeah. So that way we want to bypass the filter, and from all reports that increases the receive a little bit. The other thing is, I think we peaked this last time that this is the mixer board, isn't it? I think the UHF mixer board. There is an adjustment on there, but I'm pretty sure we did that last time, so we shouldn't have to touch it. So. And we've got signal sources and everything to see if this is actually going to make an improvement or not.
So the preamp we'd actually be putting into that piece of coax, I assume, wouldn't we?
Well, the preamp on mine is directly after the antenna switch.
In 1 hour. How does that?
Oh, okay.
Before the actual, before the when I had the filter in line, it was before the filter.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you imagine it was sort of sitting here, so it would come out of that into the preamp and then into the filter. But what I've done is completely eliminated the filter.
So I could actually put that preamp basically in that piece of coax.
If you have a look over at mine, so this is my 3.4 gig box. So what I've got is the antenna connection comes in here, goes into the coax relay. Then I've got the preamp, which is directly after the coax switch, and then that goes into that spot. It used to go down here onto this part of the filter because that was the filter input. Okay. But now I've just bypassed it completely. So that's where I've got my preamp. Cool. And for those that are watching, I'm sure you've seen in the other videos, I've got a stealth amplifier and a mini kit sequencer, and it's all in a different box. The original mod was as per Justin's.
Oh, well and truly.
So that it's the good thing about the way that you've got yours set up is it's really easy to set up if you want to go portable or just quickly set up. Whereas mine's requires a little bit more effort.
No, that's all right. That's good. So, what we actually want to do here is go the next step.
Okay. I think you've been heard, Alan.
Shout out to VK7 who's also watching.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. I'll just go and get
Message appear. Here was on messages. Tell Alan everything. So the back fence to the front of the around here. So that's actually longer than
So that unit there is VK7 ZBXs. This is a carbon copy of mine, which is also a carbon copy of VK4CZ. So we all copied off of each other.
Hey, if it works, don't fix what you don't have to fix.
Of course, you could be using the one on the top there.
If you're still watching, subscribe to the REAST YouTube channel too. We forgot to say that before. We've still got 12 watchers, so they must be interested in Justin unscrewing the panel.
Well, this is the inside of one of these panels. So.
Oh, I could log into the security camera and talk back.
So.
Yes. Yeah, I guess they have a bit of a speaker. Well,
and you can see what Hayden was saying just then is here's the little receive bit of semi-rigid that goes around into the beginning of that. Oh no, hang on. Is that the right one?
Yeah,
that one.
Yep.
So what we're doing is basically going from here around the corner to here.
And the reason for that is that filter does, if it's not tuned absolutely perfectly, and sometimes they can be off, it has excessive insertion loss. So what we're basically doing is just completely removing it. When I did one for, I think it was VK7 ZMS's panel.
Okay.
I actually, you can remove this hard line, but I was chopping bits off the hard line and the filter response started changing, which was interesting. I managed to get it to work, and we've tested his on air and it works well.
Okay.
But we just want to bypass it and see what it does. It's probably not really required at the frequency that we're running it at. There's not an awful lot of services that are going to interfere, but
you don't want that selectivity potentially.
Yeah, or we don't require the selectivity.
Yeah. So one of the advantages of having it as broad as a barn door. You're usually wanting to go in the other direction. Okay, so we need to come out of there basically go along there and into there, so that I can then put the preamp in here.
Yep.
All right,
and that should all fit underneath that case quite nicely. Because the preamp's fairly small, isn't it?
Yeah.
Down East microwave preamp.
Well and truly, the Demi, and it's wending its way to me right at the moment. So let's grab a soldering iron.
So I did with mine. Mine was a little bit different. I ended up putting it into a enclosure. I got this idea from Scott, VK4CZ, and just an aluminium plate with everything screwed to it. So the panel I removed from the original antenna that sits on the back of the antenna, added a coax switch and a mini circuits preamp, added a sequencer and the stealth amp, which produces 20 watts on 3.4 gigs. And the reason I did this was I wanted a little bit more power and I wanted to use some different antennas, so this has been used extensively and it works relatively well. And
thank you.
We'll go over, just move some of this. Richard,
That's a 77.
do you want to talk through yours? Your carbon copy of mine?
Well, that's exactly what it is. It's
So this is Richard 7ZBX talking,
a carbon
his
copy
panel.
of Hayden's.
which is a carbon copy of Scott.
I really didn't want to
VK4CZ.
plagiarise it, but they do say that copying is the sincerest form of flattery.
Well, yours looks much neater, and yours is version 2. It looks better than mine.
Yeah, look, I just tried to make it as neat as I could, just because that's the way I try to do stuff.
So the same amplifier,
Yep.
same coax switch, I think. Yes.
Yep. The only addition probably that mine's got that yours maybe hasn't is the little 12 volt coil relay.
Yes, for that shows TX and RX on the front. You can also select your IF. I have a fixed IF on mine.
Don't think you didn't reprogram the micro, so your IF is 440.
No, my IF is 442, and there's nothing up at 442 for an IF bleed through or anything like that. So I just left it as is.
One of the reasons.
There we go. Camera's back on. It goes into economy mode.
One of the reasons I put the IF switch on is that in the early days when we were testing, we were only testing here, and we were never really sure
What IF?
whether we were working on IF or whether we were actually working on 3.4. So, but no, also probably unlike. Did you have a power supply on yours, or you run yours off?
No,
off 12
so
volts?
mine's off 12 volts, so I don't have a power supply. You've also got a current and voltage meter. I've only got a current meter. One tip that I saw online was using the current meter is a good indication that you're actually transmitting, because you'll see the current, the needle will hit the end. You've got a 20 amp meter. I think I've only got a 10 amp meter, but essentially it's the same thing. And you've got a ZL PLL box as well.
I have, which is a really handy thing for doing alignments. Pardon the scabby sort of bit, but yeah, just went through and picked pretty much 075. I only have the 9 or the 10 position BCD switch. I think you can get like a hex one that does 16 position, because in the firmware there is actually other beacons all the way up again to 24 gigs. But have the ability to.
So just go back. So the frequencies that are available out of the ZL PLL, you get to go all the way up to 24 gigs.
24 gigs, that's correct.
Which is for a weak signal source is it's essential to be able.
The difference is sort of Rex has one of these as well. He has one of the earlier ZL PLLs, and he put his in a plastic box. And having it in a plastic box is a great idea, because you can just put it somewhere near where you are and it'll hear it. I sort of tried to be a bit sort of more pure perhaps and put it in a metal box, But then, of course, if you haven't got anything plugged into it like an antenna, you can't actually hear it, as we discovered tonight.
But that is also a good thing, because I remember when you didn't have it in a box, it didn't matter where you put it in the house, you could hear it.
That's right. It's surprisingly strong. Once you get up on like 1296 and above, it's a colossal signal.
Yeah. So when we've got a little SMA barrel in there at the moment. When that was actually out, we couldn't hear it at all. The transverter's sitting right next to it. Even with the antenna, we couldn't hear it. So just plugging that on to act as an antenna, we can. Yeah, it gives us a nice weak signal. So that's a very handy little thing. I've got a sort of a commercial version of that, but mine only goes up to 4 gigahertz. Yours is right up to 24. So yeah, the ZLPLL, really good little board.
It is. Works a treat.
And GPS lockable too. Sorry, you were showing the back of that.
Yeah, basically I went a bit overboard. It's an external 10 meg reference in.
Yep.
And
USB.
I put a USB port on it so that you can program the thing. If you want to change any of the frequencies or whatever, it's just a matter of plugging that in. The later version of the ZLPLL board, you can have the USB and the BCD switch simultaneously.
Yep.
The older version, you had to unplug the switch and put the programming header on. So, but yeah, it works a treat.
We've got a couple of comments on here. What have we got? J2904, did either of you experience a 3.4 gig panel that was deaf on receive, 30 dB down, and if so, was there any fix? A very deaf panel here, and I almost given up on it. VK1JA, Jason. The panels by themselves are deaf. There's a couple of things with them. So what Justin's doing is he's...
I'll just bypass mine so that the original
exit
of the filter was here.
So what we're doing is hold on, I put my phone down. We've got more questions coming in. So we've got here was the original spot for the input of the filter.
Yep.
And Richard's now moved it to the other end. Have you done a test with it yet? Or?
Yeah, it's about 1 S point better.
Okay, well that's not too bad. That's an improvement. Sort of an uncalibrated improvement.
Yeah,
too.
that's right.
But so this filter here, unless it's tuned perfectly, can have excessive insertion loss. On this board here, I believe the middle, what is it? I think it's that pot there. This is the IF board that you make up, so you modify the coils to bring it down from, I think it's 480 megahertz to 430. And that middle pot there is very, very critical. Tune that pot, turn your radio on, turn the volume up on USB, and tune that for maximum noise. So tune that for maximum noise, and that will improve things a lot too, but they are deaf by themselves. With mine, I've got a preamp. We're all getting preamps to improve the receive performance. 30 dB down is a lot.
It is, yeah. Unless there's maybe some physical damage or...
Yeah, there could be something else wrong there, Jason, but without sort of testing it without... If you've got proper test gear, you can test all these things and test the various points and things like that.
I think the problem is too that we noticed even in the 4 we had, there was wildly different results in output power and sensitivity that was... It's almost sort of like a bit of a lucky draw, really.
We've got a comment from someone, where's the other screw on your USB connector on the back? Oh, it's fallen out. Is that tapped? That's tapped, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a very interesting point.
There we go.
Very, very well spotted.
Very well spotted. Thank you for that.
At least it's still got one.
We've got a comment from VK7 AGR that says tricky.
Hey, Reggie.
And we've got Len VK4 ALF asking what power is the amplifier. That amplifier is
30 watts.
So yours is 30 watts.
Yeah, I think they were rated nominally to 30. Rated nominally to 30 watts.
Yeah. So
but we had the luxury of some test equipment to measure the output of the board, which luckily enough was about 1 milliwatt, which is the perfect drive.
So these amplifiers have ridiculous gain. They've got 50 dB. I've got the camera on battery saver mode, so I don't have the power. It keeps turning off. So the The PA has 50 watts, 50 dB of gain, so it requires 0 dBm or 1 milliwatt input. These boards produce about, usually about half a watt. So something like a 20 dB attenuator fixes that. So yours come out at 30, mine come out at about 20. So there's some variations with them, but you can buy them off eBay. I think there's still plenty. There's quite a large stock.
$180, $190 I think landed here, which is pretty good.
Yeah, so
This makes
yeah, so it's not too bad, but that's the amplifier anyway, Len, and we've got a couple of them around the state now. So, and I think there's a few on the mainland that use them as well.
I think there is, yeah. The only other thing we could point out is that possibly not a good idea to use identical connectors for IF and for output.
Because that can possibly lead to
the IF being plugged into the wrong
antenna and the antenna being plugged into the IF. So the coax switches. So these coax switches, they are DC to 18 gigs, and
12 volt coil.
12 volts, and we picked these up for about $30 off eBay.
Yeah.
I believe they're still there. So
I think they might have upped the price a little bit from when we bought them. Perhaps
we bought quite a few of them. We bought the 24 volt ones, but the 12 volt ones, we wanted, everything else is 12 volts in this, so we wanted to run that. You've got a 13 centimetre transverter.
Yeah, with a 24 volt coil.
Which has got 24 volts in it, so that's fairly simple. But yeah, for this we used everything with 12. So this, we've had contacts between each other using your system and my system. Obviously your system's down a little bit on receive because of the lack of a preamp, but
really good signals from Ranelagh to Tea Tree.
Yeah,
which is certainly not a line of sight path.
Yep. It's been really good. So. And what else can we say about it? Yeah, your version 2 looks very good.
That's okay.
And we thank VK4CZ Scott for the idea.
For his intellectual property.
Yep, for his IP. He hasn't written any more comments yet, so he must be okay. He's not going to sue us for taking his idea. So
I'm going to try and copy the sort of form factor too for the 1296 amp that I'm building. And try and put it in a 3RU case with the actual unit and the relays.
So what are you doing with the 1296 amp?
That's one of the VHF design 300 watt jobbies.
Yep.
And that comes complete with the whole control unit, which is really quite good.
Yep.
Which does sequencing, does current measurement, SWR protection, and 300 watts out, which should be really quite nice.
VK4CZ says a freebie, so we might be we'll make sure that we don't steal any more ideas. He's got a talking about, so you got your 1296 amp. He's got a 2.4 gigahertz amp, which does 200 watts.
Wow.
So he's got to do a bit of work to it, but 200 watts on 2.4 gigahertz. I can just imagine. I don't know exactly what his neighbours are like, but if any of them are running wireless access points on channel 1, they might all of a sudden lose their Wi-Fi. They may lose their Wi-Fi when the opening to New Zealand starts.
That would take a little bit of power too to run.
So Justin's still working on his panel. Let's move over and see what he's doing. Thanks, Richard. Sorry.
Okay, we've done the bypass. So we now have a piece of semi-rigid that heads around into here and straight into the receive port on the changeover relay.
Yep.
And we've got, I used a little bit extra, Hayden, thank you.
Yep, that's fine.
Because I'll put the preamp in there.
Yep. And then you can just chop it out and put it straight in line. Yep.
So, and because there's room there as well.
Yep.
But that's actually the room that I was going to use for the PA, so I'll have to think about, actually, what we can do while you...
Sorry about this camera keep going to sleep. I'm going to plug it back in again because I'm near the power.
What we can do is show you. We're not quite up to the power that the purple brick is.
Yeah.
But this is the 3.4 gig 2-watt power amplifier from Minikits in South Australia, and it's basically ready to put in. I'll just RF choke. So this is the board. You can see there's a little TC3341 IC, which is what gives you your 2 watts. That's a bit of a challenge to put onto this board, because what you've actually got to do is sweat it on.
Yeah.
Because they actually use this as the heatsink.
Yep.
And what you've got to do is, and you'll see there's 2 screw holes next to it, and one on each corner. You then screw that to the heatsink, so the whole thing basically becomes contact with the heatsink.
Yep.
But you can see that the RF path is quite short. It's in, it's out, and then there's all the bias arrangement and everything.
It's quite a nice, neat little board, isn't it?
Well and truly.
So, did that come pre-built or did you build it?
No, I built this.
Yep.
I bought the kit.
Yep.
You can buy it pre-made.
And 12 volts?
12 volts, yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what, once it has a heatsink on it, I actually want to mount that inside the board, inside the box somehow, so that everything's contained. So I pick it up, it's a little 2-watt module, it'll have the preamp in it, so it's sort of a self-contained unit. So, but that, you're only talking, probably a couple of hours at the very most.
Yeah, okay.
And it all comes with the Minikit explanation, which is fantastic. Mark Kilmeyer does a really good job of these kits.
Only one other guy turned up, so
So anyway, that's the other bit of this.
VK4CZ asks, what preamp are you guys going to be using on 3.4 gigahertz? So to start off with mine, because I've got one.
Yep.
Mine is a, if I can zoom up, mine is a mini circuits one, which they are very rare now. That was the very last one at Mini Kits that I found. You can buy them directly from Mini Circuits, but they cost a lot. So I got the last one of those. Richard's going to be using a Richard's. They cost a lot.
No, you got the last one.
Oh, I got the last one. Richard is, he's got a preamp coming from VK3PP, who's built one for him. What are you, you're going to try that, but did you have another one in mind?
The only other one that I've thought of that people are using is the Demi microwave.
The Demi one, the same one as what?
Yeah, which I think comes in 2 form factors. You can buy it with a like outdoor case and connectors.
Yep. And I bought just the board. So the board, basically the kit without the box, because I'm putting it in a box.
We're just going to use like SMA connectors.
I'm not even going to use SMAs. I'm actually going to directly solder, because that's now that bit of.
Yeah, no, that'd be and it would fit in there a tree.
So Justin's going to use the one from Down East Microwave, and but for the time being, Richard's going to use the one from VK3PP, who's designed one for him. So that's good.
And it'll be good to do a bit of a comparison between the mini circuits and the Down East and VK3PP. So
Are you going to test your panel tonight, or
just screwing 4 screws into it, and we'll do a test.
We'll stick around for that. We've still got 12 viewers, so I'm amazed that we've retained those 12 viewers that haven't fallen asleep yet. Let's have a look at. Are you unplugging yours? Let's have a look. I'll change this battery economy mode. Oh, this is going to be bad. This is really bad. I'm going to turn that off, so then that way the camera doesn't go to sleep. Okay. Have a look and see what Richard's doing.
There's a bit of difference.
So what Richard's got is he's got that ZLPLL with a weak signal. He's got the panel. We're just trying to... So that signal before, when you were holding that panel there in the same sort of spot, that wasn't registering on the S meter, was it?
No, so when I had that,
So when Richard had the panel down as it is now, we couldn't even hear the signal. Now it's just barely there. You can hear it. So
put a bit of an antenna on.
So obviously it's very, very close. But that was definitely not as strong beforehand, so it has made some sort of improvement. The real proof of the pudding will be in an on-air test, though.
Yeah, well, we'll have to do a test to your place.
Yeah, because we know roughly what the signals are like between me and you.
Yeah, look, there's really obviously you're hearing me a lot better than I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still good enough for a copy.
Yeah.
Certainly good enough to get numbers in the RD contest.
Yeah. So that was the other thing that we did. So with the RD contest, we made contacts on a lot of stations around Hobart have 1296, but they don't have 2.4. We had 2.4, so we had a couple of contacts on 2.4. So we're hoping that for the next RD contest we'll have at least 3-4 panels going by then, and then we'll be able to do some 3.4 gig contacts for the contest, and also for field days too.
Field days is really good.
So in case you haven't already noticed, VK7's pretty competitive.
We like having good.
Yeah, we do. So Justin's still setting up over there at the moment. He's getting there. His is on a nice little tripod.
And I was just this is my resource tip shop favourite shop find.
What's it?
And change polarisation.
Oh, look at that! Wow.
Did you get the tripod? No. For the resource tip shop.
Resource tip shop, yeah. Because I think people get scared off because it's got one of those mounts where you screw something on the bottom of the camera and then you click it into the tripod.
Oh, and you don't want the camera falling off.
You never find the bit that it clicks into. So people go, oh, I don't want that. Can't put the camera on that.
Yeah.
So, hey, put a screw.
Then you get drill a hole. Butcher. Polarization changer.
That could be a handy thing for your dish.
Works for me. Works for me.
I think we need this thing just come around.
Don't know if there's any more questions. We've still got 11 viewers on, so thank you guys for sticking around.
And it's got a sock on the bottom. So you can put a weight on it.
Oh, you really? Oh, well done.
And you've still got the wind up.
Will they stream it?
That's the still the handle.
They'll stream it, but they are video.
This is just so they can put a bit of pressure on the rotate. So
I'm sure you've
the only thing that was wrong with it was this lock.
That's what you do.
These panel antennas have about 18 dBi of gain. Not very sharp, but they do an alright job. Justin's just firing up his panel. Unfortunately, I can't walk over there because I don't have enough power cable or enough streaming laptop.
Well, they're doing something maybe not here, but
So VK2 YCJ, these panels, if you Google VK3 ATL 3.4 gigahertz, you'll find the conversion. These were actually converted. They were ex-ISP subscriber panels that we needed to convert to 3.4 gigahertz. There's not many of them left. I think there's a few maybe floating around that you might be able to find one. Some VK5s I think have some that you could do conversions on. But that's where we got them from, and the full conversion details are in the on the VK3 ATL website. So we've got a couple down here which we converted, and some are working better than others. So. Oh, you're not listening to the weak signal source?
Oh, weak signal source.
It's on.
It's on 075 plus or minus Doppler.
Yeah, which is 0.091.
It's moving, isn't it?
I'm getting it on. Yeah. We're not GPS locked.
Turn yours down so that we can hear Justin's.
So 075?
Yeah.
It might be higher though. Or
Mine's saying about 091.
Yeah, good. Did you see that honey?
I did. Where did you
Kingston Town. Woolworths.
Woolworths?
Yeah.
Woolworths supermarket? Or?
Yeah.
you tried to contact with Justin and it didn't. His receiver was down, wasn't it?
Yeah. Funnily enough, I had it on the same frequency that we tried to work on earlier.
Yep.
And I had the mute up, and I was actually doing some welding in the shed for Rex. And Justin drove all the way to Mount Rumney, which is pretty much line of sight to my place.
You know where the
thing
milk
just-
is? Woolworth, and then you go past the milk and you get to the corner where the freezer.
Sorry?
Well, more sort of where the
It's
milk
Supposed to be 075.
near the aisle.
Or thereabouts.
Thereabouts.
This is
What's
not GPS locked.
how strong is it?
And it's there where they have sort of clearance stuff.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
There's no antenna connected.
They're open.
Can you switch it off?
Yeah.
I wonder why it's on the hill.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's
Up on the hill.
related.
How about a contact across the room?
Yeah, well, the baker's side is just
We thought, great. We went into the car park and went across the car park and we couldn't hear each other.
Couldn't work across the car park.
In-house baker.
Well, you could try the car
that's
park, I
right.
suppose. How cold is it outside?
I'm portable.
No, the other end.
Yeah, well, we don't need to go anywhere. We can stay in the warmth.
Where the milk freezer is, the milk fridge.
Right. It's also an end cap down there.
I went to my
So
last.
that's okay.
Plug the antenna in
I
and see what
reckon
it does.
if you're standing in front of the
Whoa!
the glass doors of the milk, you'll spot the shelf.
Yeah.
Where
Well,
the,
no, plug it in.
Thank you. Okay, something like
Is that horizontal or vertical?
I'm actually not sure whether I put the back on the right way.
Yeah, that's right. That's the trick.
Because there's a polarizing sticker
Inside.
inside. But which way is it?
You'd have to open up mine, which I don't have.
No, well, but it's just an arrow inside,
I'm pretty
You're
sure
hearing
it's
that
I'm
better
pretty
than
sure
mine.
it's horizontal.
and I don't know whether it's.
I'm pretty sure that the label points to the top of where the arrow is. So whichever way that is.
Well,
You've only got 4 screws. You'll be able to.
only got 4 screws.
What's the signal strength?
If there's 7,
Yeah, well,
Oh,
that's definitely the correct polarization.
yeah. Which?
No, that's right, because that's vertical.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you on Sunday?
Yeah, we've got.
So
Whereabouts are you
it's
at?
looking promising.
Well, you could try it because that's the same signal strength we got here, right next to
Chance
it.
of the world hearing you. It's only these-
Yeah.
Won't even be this Sunday.
Run
Well,
my phone, no.
but you're still hearing it with the antenna on.
Well, it's
No, I actually don't leave till Monday, but I'll be all packed up, so I'm not going to
might be on some, but
No, it's the guys in, I can't remember Tony. He's in Blackman's Bay.
no, Taruda, but your work, Tony.
That's really quite a strong signal. You're hearing that way stronger than I am.
Double to minus. But this isolation behind the weatherboard to the touchdown is plastic.
Sorry to the ears of our viewers.
That really is a Tony
So,
radio.
and it faces the mountain. There you go.
So big fella.
Are you doing like 705?
Oh, we'll talk about it. I want to see one in the flesh first. 705.
Oh, yeah. And I think that could be a while away.
If that was like a development prototype,
Yeah.
they took to the end first.
They said March.
Well,
Look, took for the
bit of a
9700.
successful
Well,
night tonight. So what we might do is we might end the live stream there. Thanks for everyone for joining in,
Yeah, still it's.
and
If it's SDR,
hopefully the 3.4 panels are now working as they're intended to work.
it's they do an up conversion for 2 and 7.
For 2 and 7.
Thanks to Justin
Hello.
and
Thank you, Hayden.
everyone else. We'll end the live stream.
Cool.
Oh,
Let's see if you can hear it.
Yeah.
oh, let's do. Well, actually, we'll delay
What
it.
do you
Let's see. Let's see if you can hear it.
I'm on.
What frequency are you
You might have to turn your ZLPLL off as well.
Okay, so I go to 432.
It's flat.
Oh, no, 432 100.
Yeah, hang on.
Some semblance of band planning.
Ooh, let go. Yes, 9 plus.
So I hope so.
20 watts.
Yeah. 2 meters.
Except it's interesting because you're on 432 100.
Yes.
It's probably
I'm on
IF.
432 097. Just go again.
You might want to go
Well, I can go to 433.
433.
Yes. Okay, I was saying 432.
VK7 TW, VK7TW, VK7 Tango Whiskey, VK7 ZBX.
FM or
12.
SSB?
SSB.
I'm on SSB.
You're on SSB.
1212. 212. VK7 TW, VK7 ZBX. Alright.
Yeah. Go again.
VK7 TW, VK7 ZBX, over.
Yeah, 98. Cool. VK7 ZBX, VK7 Tango Whiskey, VK7 Tango Whiskey, VK7 ZBX. You receiving
I think that's about the only time I've ever seen all the segments on this.
Oh no, I had
Wonder why.
the 10 gig system plugged in. That just lit everything up when it's come up.
24.
You're portable.
9700.
Oh, 9700.
Should we go for a quick walk?
Yeah.
All right, I'll end this live stream. Thanks everyone for joining in.
A kid
Now it's time to go play radio.
Chinese website. It was really key.
Yeah.
And it's like a scientific.
So I have to see if we can find your panel, mate.
Arduino stuff. And these are all the
Yeah.
all sensors.
Probably need to find 2 or 3 so we can have another.
Use.